physically, but if you're not feeling well, let somebody know so that they can come and check on you. Because I'm that night, I felt like I had shotness of breath.
I'm crying.
Let me tell you something, I even called my mom. She stayed on the phone until I fell asleep. At 23.
Nothing is wrong. She's still your mom. Like, I don't know. She's still your mom.
Never.
But she doesn't chill herself as well.
I wasn't feeling well. I laid down, I couldn't breathe. Anyways, yeah.
Shortness of breath is killing
I couldn't breathe, honestly. But yeah, the doctor said that I think he thought it was related to stress and anxiety, and I actually believe it because one day I got so worked up, and then I started feeling the same chest itches. But on the next note, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, guys, mentally, physically, because when I used to stay up late so long for some time, and that's when I started feeling the chest issues. So take care of yourself, honestly, take care of your mind, your body, everything. So the next thing that we're going to look at is academics, and we've touched on this a lot, and as Dave said, it's an accelerated program. What people take a year or years to do, we're doing in months. Sometimes I feel like my head is swelling. I just think sometimes I'm in class and it's just 2 hours, but I have to go to the bathroom. Sometimes not really to say, okay, because to go to the bathroom, but because I want to get a little bit of fresh air. To be honest, it's a lot, especially for me, the course that I thought was unreasonable, not with the teacher or anything, just with the timeline, was pharmacology. We had a great teacher, that's the timeline. In 3 months, you're learning what people take maybe a year to study.
2 years.
2 years, 4 years. So basically, for pharmacology, you don't need to just know the drug and what the drug treats. You need to know what the drug does when it gets in the body, what the body does,
How the body excretes the drug.
side effects,
Exactly, how the body
you
excretes
have
the
to know
drug.
how the drug reacts
Really
with other
excreted,
drugs, how the
excreted.
drug reacts with food.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Contraindications.
contraindications, like what complications the drug can cause.
Don't take
Honestly,
this drug with this drug.
yeah, don't take it with that drug, because honestly, it's a lot because it's accelerated. And the thing is, for us, as she said, it's really a lot because what personally for me, I feel like I learn a lot, but I forget a lot because we're learning so much. Something that we did, maybe what we're at MD5, I'm from MD4, and I don't remember. Because honestly, we learn so much, and sometimes it feels like, you know, I can't do this because right now we're preparing for step. I feel like, what? I just said, Jesus. But honestly, it is not easy. It is so much, and you might see us and it might look like it easy or whatever, but honestly, it's not easy. So yeah, it's not easy at all. And then, you know, some persons have familial pressure because, you know, your family, they're depending on you to do well and get good grades.
And get children with nice hair.
You know, you have a family pressure. And one time I remember, whenever I fail an exam, and yes, I don't pass all the time. Sometimes I will fail an exam, sometimes I will not do well. You know, if I fail an exam, so I wouldn't send my mother because I was like, okay, I don't want them to say, okay, maybe I'll say it in proper English. I don't want them to say, oh, maybe she can't manage. You know, Jamaicans, if you don't pass the test and you send the result, they say, you know, maybe you can't manage her. So whenever I did that, I didn't want to send my mother results. But honestly, I said to myself, okay, no, I'm going to send it because I want her to understand that it's not all the time that I'm going to do well. Sometimes I might not do well. So when I sent her the real results, she wasn't angry, she wasn't upset, she was understanding, and I think at that point I was going through a lot too. So she was really understanding. So sometimes we have pressure, sometimes we might see other people around us doing well and we're struggling, or we might feel sort of pressure like, you know, God. So academically, it is not easy, it's a lot of work, and yeah, it's not easy.
Academics. So I feel like if you can't find the proper balance, then your academics will just like go up in flames, right? Like as they said, the program is accelerated, right? So we're doing what everybody else doing med school in a year or two, we're doing it in 3 months, right? So it's like information overload, like there's so much to know. And then today you study and you think you get it, you do questions, the questions will humble you, and yeah, and they ask you about it again tomorrow and you realize that oh, you forgot about it, already. Other aspect is that I think one good recommendation I have for like academics is like studying with like other people. Like it really helps, like group discussion, stuff like that, and it helps to like clarify concepts. The other downside to the academics now is like you have to do trial and error. You have to see what works best for you, because coming into med school I didn't know like how best like I study or how I would navigate this journey, like what works for me. Then I realized that watching videos, doing questions, like having like discussions, those things help. So you have to find your pattern, you have to find what works best for you. But then again, you also have to learn how to balance everything, because you're focusing on your academics, life is happening around you, and you can't really focus on the stressful things. At the same time, the student body council is having events, you want to go, you can't go because you have tests the following week and stuff like that. So I feel like it's just a lot of stress, it's a lot to handle, and I don't know, it's really hard for me. Like maybe it's easier for like because I did like 2 years, I took a 2-year gap before school, so like coming to the school I had to like relearn how to study, being in a classroom environment and like stuff like that. And then people will just think that you have it like all together. No, yeah, we failed too. I remember one time in pre-med 1, like we had like a physics quiz and I studied. I worked out all of the questions that the lecturer gave us. When I went to the quiz and saw my grade, I was like, I cried that day like so badly. I was like 40%, and I was like, whoa. But I accepted it, I learned from it, and I moved on. Like you don't let those things define you, and don't ever let people tell you that you can't do it. Like don't be intimidated by like other people's word or stuff like that. Nobody knows what you are going through as a person. Nobody knows like your struggles or what you have to do to like achieve certain things, right? So I feel like you just have to find what works best for you. Like that's the end of it, and try to like study with people, try to like talk to yourself in the mirror about the concept that you just learned, or chat GPT, like, oh chat, let me explain this to you. They listen and they say, oh, but you could have added like this part, That I find chat GPT really helpful, yeah, and like ask questions, like ask your lecturer questions if you're not sure, like look for additional information online, stuff like that. But all of these stuff really help you to maneuver the academic aspect of the journey. So yeah.
Let me say something first. And you see that in spite of what Caitlin went through personally, she still did well, because she was one of the, I think it was maybe 2 in our group. She was one of the 2 that she was one of the 2 persons with the highest grade in our group, in spite of her sicknesses and her difficulties that she had to go through. So even in spite of whatever you're facing, you can still rise above it and you can still do great.
Thank you very much, Kate. Thank you very much, Ashanti. So, standing on all existing protocol. Basically, on everything that they've said, it's very true. And I think you also need to understand like where you currently are, because university is not secondary school, and pre-med is not MD, and MD2 is not MD3, and MD4 is not the same thing as MD1. So like you need to understand that as the classes change and as situations change, also like you also need to adapt to that change and change what you personally need to change about like your reading time, how you read, what you read with, and everything. But let me say now, in pre-med, when I first came in pre-med 1, I also took a 1 year gap. When I came, yes, I took a whole year gap. When I came, my first exam, Jesus, it shocked me. I'm like, oh my god, what is this class? And it was the first class of the like. So what would, if I'm failing pre-med 1, what will happen in the other pre-meds and in the rest of the MD? Like, I was confused. I was in a state, I was flabbergasted. But pre-med 1 came, left, then pre-med 2, another pre-med. Pre-med started, like, I got the hang of it. Pre-med started going okay, and time was going. Also, I had a study group as well, I think from pre-med 4. So getting to pre-med 4, also I used to think like the curriculum was maybe we are using slides because we have an app called Canvas, and then the teachers post their PowerPoint on the app, and that's how we study with it. So sometimes you can just maybe 2 days, exams is always Thursday and Friday first in our school, except like there's a holiday or something. Monday of exam week, if you're lucky enough, you can finish all your subjects before that Thursday. Like Monday of exam week, not advisable.
It's not
advisable. But like if you don't sleep, don't breathe, don't do anything, you can do it.
Never try
So
this, guys.
I used to
Try that whole.
bro, if you do that and it's working for you in pre-med, like you can do that in pre-med. Maybe you just one video. I was just making like tutorial or something, and it was only like for physio and so the rest just read the slides and you're good. Maybe microbiology or some things I was watching videos for. The rest was just like understandable. Until I got to MD1, you had to adapt like quickly. I realized like, and there were also tests like every week. You cannot be reading exam week unless you want to get 20. If you're okay with getting 20, go and read exam week, and maybe you might even get 25. Lucky you. But exam week is really not advisable to read during exam week. So what I used to do in pre-med, I thought I could bring it to MD, but I was very, very fortunate. At least at that time, my study group was still in like place, so I was still reading with them, and like so. And the people around you, to make sure you surround yourself with people that would challenge you, people that would like want the best for you genuinely. Because when I was like at a gathering of one of our meetings, I was reading novel because I thought I had read enough. And I kept telling you, I want to read. This is no pre-med. Go and read. And because of their constant persistence, I went to go and read and everything. Even if I did not even finish reading a lot that day, and these things that they said to me, like keywords, like if maybe she's solving a question, or let me say Prince is doing something and he's like, oh Amanda, remember nursemaid syndrome, or the person is always a nanny or something. I went to the exam hall, and that was like back for back the question he told me about something. I don't know if it was you or him or one of you. I told me something about when you carry it, and I saw it. I was like, thank God I went yesterday. Thank God I went yesterday. And I'm telling you, and afterwards, like, you know, I realized that that pays. So it work for me in pre-med, do not continue to work for me in MD. And MD1 as well. If you think you can watch one YouTube video, I was watching maybe 8 minutes, because sometimes I read before class. We had a test, I think almost every day or something. We had a test for anatomy and histology. I think we had a test every day. So sometimes if I could not read the night before, if I have to go and do something and I have to read in the morning, I'll come to school very early and read. I will not come to the class, miss the class. When it's time for the test, I'll come back in and read. I want to do like a 20-minute or like an 11-minute YouTube video. When I got to MD2, I had to switch to a consistent what's it called again? A consistent source. Like I couldn't just continue using randomized YouTube. People that introduced me to, you have to use Najib, or you have to use this Indian woman, or you have to use Boards and Beyond. Like you have to use one thing that the pattern will work out for you. You can't just sporadically study. Like you can't just go to YouTube and just type neuron and axons, and any video that comes up you watch it. Like any video that comes up you watch it. Like so exactly, because they could like simplify the information, they could tell you the information, like it could be things that you would not need or something like that. So I had to learn to use a pattern. MD3 too. So all these things, like with time, your patterns or your habits need to change as the school is changing. So that's that. And there's also the aspect of like time. You really, because I work and I had to do hair and I didn't have a routine. At least I didn't believe I needed one. Anybody that calls me, oh Amanda, can you do my hair? When? Tomorrow. okay, I'm thinking about it, this money will do me good, I'll go and do it. And then I'll suffer it because I'll have to now study into the night or study the next morning or something like that. Sometimes I'll miss class. My attendance throughout this MD, I feel like I should go to my teachers individually and apologize to them.
Oh, good.
Because real, I feel like as a class we should write, oh, we apologize for consistently missing classes because so many times, like so many things, and nobody will know what happened maybe the night before, the evening before. So like you won't understand why you're not in class that day or something like that. So it will require you to maybe read into the night, read into the morning, it's always a lot. So academically, and the academic, like we said, leads to the mental health. I believe the starting point of everything that you're here to study. So that's alone, like you're here to study and pass. If you just study and you don't pass, what's going on? Like, what are you now here for? Just stay at home. So you're here to study and pass. So I believe that alone, the expectation alone is enough to give you stress. Speak less of the action. So the expectation that the reason that you're here, when you think about, oh, they sent me, why me? Like I have siblings at home and everything, they sent you outside to study medicine and everything, how much they are pouring into you. Like the least you can do is at least like be reciprocative and do your best academically. Although sometimes you realize like it's good to be very, very honest with yourself. Even if you don't want to tell your friends, tell yourself the truth. When you notice that you're practicing mediocrity, know that you can do better. Oh, I was watching this Love Island last night. I need to log in. I need to stop. Do you understand? I need to, every day I'm saying I'm not watching it again. So like when you realize that you're in mediocrity, don't be complacent. Challenge yourself, or let like the people around you challenge you, because that MD2 that people are dying in is also people that got 90 something. So even though, although they will not tell you what they went through, but whatever they went through, it happened and they succeeded. So you can also do it. So even if they tell you so many bad aspects, you mentioned of how tolling it is, how stressful it is, but we also mentioned like our friends that got accolades. At least there are 2 people here that made it to the dean's list. Many other people that are getting I remember one exam like that. I don't remember, is it Naomi or something that told me the score she got was my score like times 2. So I was like that block 1 physio, everybody was failing. I didn't do that bad though, but we're looking for this one mysterious person that came from nowhere. This one mysterious person. So I was like, oh my god, it was really. So when you see people like that, at least it pushes. She got I think that was what I was also. She got a physio degree before. That must be why she came and did it in neuroscience. I was like, what is my excuse now?
Good. They say go to now.
Go to now. She really did help a lot of people. So when you see these kind of people around you, like I'm like, oh, the one is hard for me. Like that's anatomy that I wrote. I came out. It wasn't that. At least like if you know you did not read, if you know you're reading over the night before, you say okay, I tried. But when you go and see your friends, you hide your grade. So those kind of things. At least my friends really pushed me. I would say that the study group I was in, like even if not for anything, I know I have to read on Saturday because we're all coming out to hear this. I was to come and read on Saturday evening. So even though I'm like 2 hours late, whatever I'll cover there, it will be more than I would have done at home. So I do really cherish these kind of things, build relationships with people that will lead to these kind of things, that will lead to productive results. Don't just go and be gisting. Although yes, we gisted, but at least like the work was done. So like I said, even if you don't see anybody to challenge you, you challenge yourself. Don't thrive in mediocrity if you know that you can do better, because people are pouring so much into you. Even if your parents are maybe not telling you, even if like you're seeing steady income every month, you receive this fixed amount but it's still a lot. It really is genuinely a lot. The fact that you're not at home, the fact that you're not seeing your people every day, you really don't know what's going on. So try your best, really. And when they say your best, let's not be the best that the situation is allowing you to. Try your best that you know you can give, that you know it is possible to give. Like push yourself to pass breaking point, because if you break, you have to put yourself back together and come back home, because school is going to continue being in session. So push yourself, like really, and you really would not know like what's in store for you. Like you don't really understand your potential. This medical school has made me realize that because in secondary school, I was just attending class. I was just there. I don't think I ever did anything ground. Like it was when I came to medical school, I was like, so my brain can even carry this much in this little amount of time. You realize when you can like watch like a 2-hour video or something, watch it in 2 times speed. And I'm like, how am I understanding what's going on? I was watching a video one day and my roommate overheard because it was on highest volume, and she overheard and the man was just and she's like, Amanda, how are you hearing what's going on? I'm like, you don't understand. I had exams that morning. you realize that you read something, people have tests in the next 20 minutes, and like, let me just go through the PowerPoint, and in the test, even if they get like a 14, better than a 0. And you're like, how did I do that? So you realize, in fact, it unleashes potential. Like, you really don't know what you're capable of until you try, until you push yourself. Don't just sit down because the situation is saying, I might take it to Western. Sorry, guys. Don't think because, like, what's going to get your exam? Your test is in 20 minutes. If I can count how many times I did not study the night before and I had test in the morning, and I'm saying, has teacher in that class? That's what I'm calling everybody asking. Because I'm reading on the bus. Anywhere I am, like, you have to try. If you just like accept your fate, that's not even your fate. If you just accept the situation you're in and you're like, okay, I'll just write whatever is there. You really don't know what you can do until you try. So really do push yourself. You will realize that you're capable of so much. Because if you're here and if you've come this far, then it's definitely not for no reason. So yes. Go school. When you come, you know. Okay.
So for me, one of my biggest challenges coming here was the accent. I don't know why it was such a big challenge for me. They are asking questions. They have not even finished asking the question. Our dearest is Joe. His hand is up. I've not even heard what they're even asking. So it was a problem for me. I couldn't even answer questions. I couldn't understand. So from MD1, I've been a recording girl. Like, all their recordings, you see me there. In fact, sometimes I'll even DM whoever that's closest to maybe a student that's closest to the lecture. Please ask her for a recording, because especially pathology, Jesus, I really needed a recording. So I always used to use recording, and that was what works for me. So sometimes, like, I know, like in my MD4, you barely sing in class, but pathology, I was not there because I knew that the teacher was a good lecturer, but her style of lecture was not the best for me. Like, you can't tell me this and I'll stick with, like, you can't just say read this. I have to understand it. So I knew that I had to go back to watch videos. And I'm like, why would I sit in class for 2 hours, hear this, that's not working for me, when I can use that same 2 hours at home to watch like 2 videos, and maybe let's say one day I'm cooking, I'll just randomly go over and record it and jot down the high yield. That's going to save time for me. So just know what works for you, basically. So that's what I did for my path, and that's what I tried to do for my farm. Now you have to also be ready to adapt to change. So for farm, I did the same, and also like Caitlin said, this is our first time doing MD1, our first time doing MD2. So you try in block 1, if it doesn't work, you change your pattern. So I know for my farm block 1, like I said, I've always been a recording girl. I just used her recording thinking it was going to, and I don't really do well with reading slides. I don't know how to sit down and read slides. So I was like, okay, as far as I just hear what she has to say, it's calm. I mean, it's from her slide she's reading from. Exam came. This woman checked after comma. What was after the comma? That's what she asked in her exam. Yeah. So I was like, okay, this is more than recording. I actually have to know almost word for word what is in the slide. So, and I know that because that's a very big challenge for me, because sometimes I read and I skip things unintentionally. Or sometimes my brain, I'm like, this thing is not so high yield. And I skip it. So, and I what I did was I had like a short note. I made my own flashcards. So anytime I say this thing is not high yield, I always jotted it down on my notes. So those things, I kept asking myself those things, whether I thought it was high or low yield. The things I knew I skipped. So I went over my slides like 3 times because I was sure, and every time I went over it, I skipped things. So I kept making new notes on like the same side while still like listening to her recording. So, and my block 1 exam, my block 2 was way better than my block 1 because I changed my style. So you have to be like readily able to adapt to change. That's one thing like that really helps me so far. So I'm not saying my attendance is the best, but I'm not saying don't come to school. But if there's a way you can work it out, that you know very well that this way works for you. Like I'm telling you, like you're understanding, not just reading for exam, you're also understanding. Try to stick to it and just find a balance. That's what I was saying.
Okay. I don't even know what to say again at this point, because basically everyone has said everything. But pertaining to academics, I feel like academics, like you just have to know what works for you. They have said it all over and all over again. You know what's like? Be truthful to yourself, right? You know that, oh, this thing I have not studied. If your friends tell you, don't like, tell them, see, this thing I can't, like, I need this, I need help. If you need help, say it out that you need help, basically. You have to be like, no, all this ball and all these things. See, this is cool. All our aim is to like pass. Nobody
everybody wants you to pass basically. No one wants you to fail. So like if they have a way to help you, they will actually help you, show up for you. So I just feel like know what works for you, because if you look at, and the way our school is, right, from 69%, yeah, it's a fail. And if you think about that 69%, it's not. By the time you write your exam, you fail 10 questions. That's 80%.
Yeah.
Before you know, if you fail like 20, that's like how many percent? So like if you feel 50 questions
like
is a lot.
60.
If you feel 50 questions is a lot, you know that you have to have like 35 of the, like 35 out of 50 for you to pass and reach I think 70.
Yeah.
So if you feel I can do it now. If you don't study, you won't do it. Because there's sometimes that I talk to my friends in Nigeria. One guy he told me, like the way our school is that he will just use a night to cram everything and come to exam and smash it. I was not like, how will you do it? He told me that he's so good at guesswork, he can do this. And I told him, okay, since you say you're so good at guessing, whether you know it or not, I went to UWorld, copy the question, sent to him. I told him, okay, since you said you are good at guessing, I mean, whether you read or not, you can do it. He failed it. So I was telling him, you see, like, and the worst part is that it's OBJ. You won't get half points. You won't get half points. You're having 0 for that question. You're having 0. Unlike if it's like OBJ, I mean, that you can have half, you can have 5 out of 10. This one 0 is 0. Yeah, nobody's pitying you. You're having 0, so you just have to. Okay, when I came here, my pre-med, I don't leave my friends know, but I love sleeping a lot. Like I just like to sleep. I love sleeping. I want to have like 10 hours of sleep to myself. So pre-med now, when I came, it wasn't that like difficult. You can actually study and then still have your sleeping time, right? If you like fix your level, you still have your sleeping time, right? When I entered MD1, you realize that exam is in this day and you are just on this one course. You're not even touch this other course, and then you have exam in this day. I need to stay awake throughout the night. That's when I realized that I can still function. If I stay awake and sleep like 1 or 2 hours, I can still function the next day. Write my exam, and then you look at my face, you be like, "Good one, come home and sleep. You're so tired." I'll be like, at night I didn't sleep. And the next day you also have another course to study for, so you have to go home, take like 2 hours nap, wake up again and continue. Because if you don't do it, 200 EC, I mean USD to pay to retake. It can go a long way. If you convert it to EC, it's like 500 EC. Let me tell you, that can take you like a whole month for feeding. I'm serious, guys. It can take a whole month for feeding. So you just have to do it knowing that your aim is to pass. You don't want to fail. You need good grades. I mean, everyone need good grades. So you just need to and sometimes also what happens is that, let's say like in our MD1, we had an anatomy lecturer, a guy. He stayed and then next thing he just disappeared. The point I want to get to is that there's how a lecturer teaches and you click with what the lecturer, like how the lecturer teaches, right? That man taught anatomy in a way that I don't need to do too much in anatomy. Like when I just listen to what he says, he just brings anatomy so well. But then when they switch it up, right? When they switch it up, someone now had to teach only the high yield stuff. And then I have MBME to write because we started MD1. If you don't do extra now, you like MBME will just tell you, what you did, you've not started. What you did, you've not started. So because of that, like you now know that you need to switch because they just suddenly to change your lecture, and now like you don't actually click with this one lecture, and now you now have to do more than what you, and that's also you have to just switch in the middle of the semester. You just have to switch the way you are studying. So like it's a continuous change. Also our embryo, we had to do block 2 and block 3 at the same time. A lot of people were complaining they can't do this. It was a whole lot because you need to combine what they teach in block. Like embryo is a whole course literally, and they are teaching you block 1 and block 2. They're giving you exam. Guys, but I mean in everything we are here, so just need to know what works for you basically. If you need help, get help. Know the video that works. Know what works for you. Like everyone just saying know what works for you, because me, I prefer videos and then questions. I just solve questions.
You don't even need to prefer questions to do. You have to do questions. Because I came here pre-med 1 to 3. I was always consistent. You know me, I'll come to class, but if you started noticing in my pre-med 3, most of my friends noticed I would not started coming to school late. I just got tired. And what happened to me, my MVP was micro, right? the lecturer, when I come, the way she said accents and stuff, she was always teaching so fast for me. It's not if I don't hear what she said, but at some point I'll get lost. And before you want to say go back, and her voice, before you want to say go back, 20 people in the class already going front. You can't pull the whole 20 people back. Only you never bring back. So just had to I just had to come back. Know that I can't do this in the class. So most times I just study at home. So anybody ask me micro, I'll tell you I watch videos for my micro. Like I didn't even read the slides. I just watch videos, solve questions, and when the videos just go straight to the point. It's basically what she's saying in the class. Yeah. So we just watch the video, solve questions back to back. You know that you are okay. You don't even need what the lecturer is saying. You just need to come for your attendance. So when the class is by 8 to 10, I'll come by 9:30, so I'll get my attendance. I know that I just want the attendance basically. So I know. So most of us we just found out that that's what works for us. Like most of us have said that we just stay back and study at home. It happens. You just need to know that you need to put yourself together in another way. So it's a constant change. Things change, so it's not a fixed schedule. If it's not videos and quizzes, if it's not slide, I am not doing. Just need to know that you can change during the block. Your lecturer can even change your lecturer. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. You just need to be flexible enough to know that anything can happen. So yeah.
Yes, I forgot something.
Me too. I
So okay,
1 minute each.
Yes, ma'am. One thing I also remember is please don't entertain fear at all, because I know in my MD4 I was very scared. At some point I wouldn't, that type of thing when you put all your effort into one exam, the result comes out, it's not as good as it's not what you expected. You expected better. They are like, what are the odds that block 2 will be different? There was a time I couldn't even bring myself to read. I was so scared I was just them just sleep and wake. I mean, God is alive now, so I'll pass. So I have to, and they've all said, have good friends. There was a friend of mine, I have to even if I'm at home, video call, he's video calling me, and they were reading through video call. Sometimes on Sundays I don't go home from church, I come to school. So because I really needed someone to just sit down beside me and tell me, face your book, because the fear was so much, I couldn't really bring myself to read. So don't entertain fear at all.
You feel after this thing, exam, and the grades are out and you cannot check, because the right exam, everybody's the grades are out. The first question that comes is, what did I have in this exam? Highest is what?
highest is God.
God forgives you that they tell you the highest, and the highest is like 80.
And you're like, how much is the highest?
No, this is like 80. You don't even want to check your study. You're just like, let me just go back home, maybe go for a walk, watch a movie.
I'm telling you,
have my bag.
Have my bag, because I can't even I know the whole class. If the highest is 80, now know that. Let's say the top guy in that 80, right? You know that you are like average. You're not like this life. So this is that. The fear can also make you not study, but in everything, just come talk with your friends and they're like, guys, it just happens, it's happening. So laugh and you pick yourself up, basically. But in that fear, you see that exam, you need to check it, and last you will check the score, because finally.
Let's now be an exam you read for. I'm like, I read this exam, my dad said to read. Oh my god. So yeah, I've forgotten what I wanted to say. When it was something on academics, I was going to say, what did you say last?
Okay.
Last thing you said.
Last thing I said. Know what works for you. Like you can. It's a constant change, basically.
Adapt.
Yeah, adapt.
Adapt. Something. Okay, let me improvise.
I just scrap this.
I was going to say something happened.
Oh
yes, hey.
Okay.
It's not when you say that you are home, because she said a lot of things, and when she's at home, both of them they said they just want like a video or something. Please don't skip school and be at home and while away your time or be on Instagram. Actually, when you're not in school or when you intend to study at home, don't deceive yourself. Like I said, if there's one person you should be honest with, be honest with yourself. Lying to yourself is the biggest mistake you can make in bed. Unless you have 200 USD share. If you don't lie to yourself. If you do not lie to yourself. So when you're at home and you realize that you're not being productive, go to school. Even if it's the library, use it. Anything you can do just to make sure that you're like stirring yourself up to study. Make sure you study. Make sure you read your. Some people can miss school a whole semester and you see them in their exam and they will pass you. Mother, what did you say they play? You think because somebody's not coming to school, that please make sure sure that you're not lying to yourselves. When you're at home, make sure that you're studying. Make sure you make good use of your time wherever you are. Even if you're on the bus, you're on the road, be doing active recall, be murmuring to yourself. Anybody that sees you on the road, they'll not see you tomorrow. So it doesn't matter what they think about you today. If say anything to make sure you keep your mind sharp and active. Don't go 2, 3, 4 days without reading if you're in MD, if you're in semester. So try your best. Kick yourself up, you understand? Don't lie to yourself. When you're at home, make sure you're reading. Don't be at home and say it's my rest today and you are chilling and you're watching videos. Okay, you'll be just a girl with 200 USD. Okay, so yeah, like I said, please be very true to yourselves and be very true to the curriculum, because school is not going to wait for you. It's fast paced. So if you cannot be fast paced, at least just try your best. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, for being here with me in this video. And to close the video, I'll give each person a chance, one sentence, to just give an advice to our viewers. One sentence.
Amanda.
Two sentences max. Just an advice. One advice that you would give to our viewers. Somebody out there, whatever you want to say to encourage them. So what I would say is that it seems like there's still a lot of work to do, but it's important also to validate yourself. It's important to validate yourself. Yes, there's still a lot of work to do, but give yourself, what do they call the word? Basically, acknowledge how far you've come from, and basically, I don't know how to put this in English, but anyways, I don't know what to say. But you've come far, so give yourself credit. That's the way to put it. Give yourself credit. Give yourself grace, but don't keep making excuses for yourself. Give yourself grace without continuing to make excuses.
So one advice I would give is learn to believe in yourself, because the moment you believe that you can do it, as Theodore Roosevelt said, believe you can and you're almost there. Like, just believe in yourself, because once you believe in yourself, like, you'll lead others to like believe in you, and that will give you like confidence to go on, you know.
So I say, do not neglect the company that you've been blessed with, especially if you're now fortunate enough to be blessed with people of like minds, of like faith, of like goals. So yes, have a very, very good support system, whether be it home, church, school, wherever it is. Just make sure that you have people around you that will always keep you encouraged, and also keep yourself encouraged, because it doesn't matter what anybody says to you. What matters is what you take in for yourself. So if you are not believing, nobody else can help you. So you first of all, like she said, need to help yourself. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. You really do not know how much you have, how much potential you have until you try. Yes. Gracias, Fernandes.
Okay, so I'll just say, like, have a drive, have something that you can look forward to, because sometimes your strength is not really able to carry you through. So even on your bad days, your worst days, maybe all the cars you want to buy for your dad, your mom, look forward to that, like the whole like future when everyone is happy, and that can at least kick you up a little. So just have something that you can look forward to, especially when you're down.
Okay, so what I'll just say is that it's okay to cry, it's okay to fail, but always remember to pick yourself up. Don't give up. Like, pick yourself up, pray to God, and also don't let the fear of what people think be what is like defining you. Basically, what I mean is that, like, some of us say before we enter the class, we like, you will fail all those things, but most of you, if you check well, they didn't fail. So like, don't let that, just like someone said, believe in yourself, because when you believe in yourself, you believe you can do it. And but having that fear can be what is pulling you back, and then you now fail, and then they now be like, oh, I told you you fail, basically. So don't let like what people say be what is defining you. Always have a drive that, like, I can do it. Even when people fail, I'm sure there was someone who passed. I can do it. I can do more than what that person did. Basically. Pray to God. I mean, everything. Pray to God. Remember to pray to God. So that's what I'll say.
Okay, thank you guys for joining. Thank you for joining us. And if you were encouraged, share this video with someone, like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see each other again.
Subscribe.
Don't just watch this. Don't just watch.
Comment.
Watch. Make sure you subscribe. Brother, why are you looking at passive? You want to keep tapping from our stories and from our knowledge, and you don't want to subscribe. Please subscribe. Why am I saying please subscribe? Because the content you're getting is premium. Ain't nobody else giving you OBGYN first hand.
Period.
First hand.
Come back and watch.